It is Giz Day, and on this particular Giz Day, we are paying homage to some fallen fathers of music, which is to say that we are going to listen to a Brian Wilson album, in this case, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. And we're going to follow that up with an album by Sly and the Family Stone. Now, in this context, I had a pretty extensive conversation with chat before hopping into this particular reaction. And we decided that we were going to listen to the 50th anniversary edition in mono because there was like four different versions of this. So, again, that's the one we picked. Now, a lot of people were kind of surprised that I hadn't dug too deeply into the Beach Boys catalog. It's apart from the hits. Simply put, I know of a couple of songs. I listened to Smiley Smile a while ago because Good Vibrations was on it. And Jimmy Page said that the Smiley Smile album really inspired him. I listened to the song Darlin' on Wild Honey because that song was featured in an episode of Big Bang Theory. And I really liked that episode. Once I heard the song, I was like, this is so good. But besides that and the hits and just what commercial, use has shown me, I got nothing. So, Pet Sounds seems like it was kind of a significant brainchild for our boy Brian Wilson. And again, it's a depth of work that I really know very little about. So I'm definitely excited to hop into it. It looks like it was released in 1966. It's got 13 songs on it, June 16th of 1966. Oh wow, golly goodness. So like 59 years and 2 days ago. That's actually kind of nuts. Yeah, let's go. So we're gonna listen to again these sharp 13 songs. And I think I have heard. I mean, obviously, I think I've heard the song "Wouldn't It Be Nice." I genuinely do. But I don't know how many of these I might have heard. Just realistic with you. Now, with that said, I'm told that the Beach Boys, and specifically Brian Wilson, inspired a lot of people. The Beatles being one of those artists. Again, speaking from a person who heard Jimmy Page talk about what the Smiley Smile album meant to him and how he would go on to make and produce albums. All of that stuff kind of adds up. But I really don't know that I can say I know the genius that was Brian Wilson, and it seems that now is a particularly relevant time to pay homage to his work and appreciate music. This is a music appreciation and discovery stream after all. We have a whole bunch of people that have either heard this album or have not. I have not. Chat, if you are here, well, I know you're here. Let me know in the chat which of you guys have heard this album and who of you are listening to this with me for the first time. Guys, I'm gonna hit the play button on this thing. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you or join us on Twitch. These people over here are actually the best people. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time, and we would love to have you by. I'm sure I must have heard a few songs on this, but I could not tell you which ones. Guys, let's check it out, shall we? I know what the Beach Boys sound like, but I don't know that I've listened to the Beach Boys sound. So here we go. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys in honor. Love you, Hoop Husband. Oh, guys, W's for my wife, the Lady Rooski. Love her back. The Wook wife. Which, by the way, is said ironically because it's like a dead giveaway that she's very clearly not a Wook, but neither here nor there. Guys, without further ado, Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys, an homage for Brian Wilson, a fallen father of music. Everybody, W's in the chat for one of music's fallen fathers. All right, here we go. Wouldn't it be nice? One I'm certain I've heard, but certainly never listened critically to. In fairness, definitely never never read the lyrics, couldn't tell you anything other than wouldn't it be nice? So here we go. I'm kind of glad we did mono.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long? And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? No, it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together.
There's so many layers in this.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is new, and after having spent the day together, hold each other close the whole night through? Of happy times together we've been spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending.
Well, frig, man, that's what... The lyrics here are unbelievable. The music, the production is nuts. Like for 1966, the amount of layers in this. And again, I'm listening to it in mono, so like I know that it's getting shot straight at both of my ears. And there's an endearing quality to that. Believe it or not, like I spend a lot of time listening to my brain bounce around by sometimes sketchy, sometimes not sketchy stereo mixes. But this is like 100% dead on the money. Besides the point, in addition to all of these harmonies, all of these key sounds, there's guitar sounds, this pop and snare sound, like a tambourine. There is the most just beautiful and dreamy lyricism here. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Then we wouldn't have to wait so long. And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? You know, it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together. It's like there's this longing to love, but also this beauty of dreaming of love. And you know, wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is new? Just like the idea of just wanting to wake up. Golly goodness. Hey, yo, Flem, have a good one. After having spent the day together, hold each other the whole night through, but happy times together we've been spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending. The eloquence of the lyricism and just how directly he says it, like he really does just communicate this romantic longing in such a wonderful way. But even further than that, you know, man.
Wouldn't it be nice? Maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray it might come true. Run, run, you, baby, then there wouldn't be a single thing we couldn't do.
This am I hearing like a harp?
We could be married, and then we'd be happy, and then we'd be happy. Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
Hey, Amargosa, I love you, my friend. You better enjoy your vacation.
It only makes it worse.
It almost, you hear the tremolo picking on, is that the 12-string guitar I'm hearing? There's also a harp, but again, there's there's different things here.
It only makes it worse to live without it. But let's talk about it.
The walking bass.
Wouldn't it be nice?
I want to revisit this kind of broken down section.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice?
Right.
It seems the more we talk
Where they slow it down.
it only makes it worse to live without it. But let's talk about it. Wouldn't it be nice?
breakdown and the harmonies. This is one of those songs that I'm really sad kind of gets lost to commercial context and movie scores, because it kind of makes that song disappear to a lot of people that are like, oh, I've heard that song, it was in that movie, but you've not really heard that song unless like you follow along with the lyrics and you kind of take in the sounds. The initial key change in this is no, this whole song is a work of true love and genius, right? And I've overlooked it my whole life just because I thought I'd heard it, And again, because the Beach Boys were in Full House, like I guess I kind of in my brain thought like, I know what the Beach Boys sound like. I saw them in a few episodes of Full House with John Stamos. And it's crazy how even things like that can kind of take us and remove us from what the actual sounds are. Like what this song means, like the depth of feeling and emotion, the genius in the recording. This is so much more than a surf rock band, dude. Dude, check Discord for the musician tier list. Okay, let's check this out. And let's see. Sweet Jesus. Session musicians, also known as the Wrecking Crew. Jeez, all. There's a lot of people on that. This says beverage cup. Somebody played a beverage cup? That's okay. Coca-Cola cans. Orange juice cups. What on? Wow. They listed the instruments that were like bass harmonica. That is cool. Never even heard of a bass harmonica until this moment. 12-string electric guitar. Love to see it. Okay. Electro-theremin. I love to see that too. Wow. Okay. Well, that is certainly a substantial list there, guys. Wowzer. Like, wow. Again, what an unbelievable... The documentary on them is free right now. I might actually have to, like, watch a documentary. I was talking about this prior to hitting the record button on this stream. But I feel like the lore of Brian Wilson is something I've heard a little bit about just through word of mouth and grapevining and like random internet lore. So I would very much like it if you're a fan of the Beach Boys, finding this video, this obscure video on YouTube. Please give me some context. Give me some information about them, because understand to me, like the story and the lore behind the music is almost just as interesting, but I wasn't around for it, right? Like I have a platform where I discover music, and I have a whole bunch of people that like to do it with me and listen along. And so as I go through it, context is something that like I very much lack, and I love getting to hear what the music means to you. So please do fill me in. But the things I've heard about Brian Wilson are like that he had a crazy doctor and like, got given a lot of psychedelics, specifically LSD, and like already had pre-existing psychological disorders like schizophrenia, and it just exacerbated things, and he kind of had like a meltdown but somehow stayed musically relevant. And it seems kind of like the dude found his voice in music. But I don't know. some people lead me to believe that he was a much more like mentally unstable person than perhaps he really was. Other people say he was very stable, but just irrational. So I don't really know what to make of it or what to believe. I'm led to believe that maybe he was maybe not as in bad a way as Syd Barrett, but perhaps that they had somewhat paralleled stories. Again, I could be totally wrong, so please do give me context, because it is actually something I'm interested in learning. After that first song, I'm especially so. Okay, in the next song, You Still Believe in Me. I love the woo, like the voice humming in the back.
I know perfectly well I'm not where I should be. I've been very aware, you've been patient with me. Every time we break up,
Wow.
you bring back your love to me. And after all I've done to you, how can it be you still believe in me? I try hard to be more what you want me to be, but I can't help how I act when you're not here with me.
It's a very honest song.
To be strong, but sometimes I feel myself. And after all I promised you so faithfully, you still I wanna cry.
Bro, this is really such an honest song. It doesn't have the conventional structure of a song. You don't get verse, chorus, bridge, ended out on the verse, ended out on the chorus. You get something a lot more delicate and poetic, like prose even. It's really, really nice. And his comment on how kind of he's not doing the best, but like that for whatever reason she still loves him, and it's like loves him to the point that he's like humbled and he wants to cry because she still believes in him. I want to cry years before Morrissey. The instrumentation, again, these keys, this bass, this like low tom, deep drum kind of thing.
Sometimes I feel myself, and after all I promised you so faithfully, you still
Beach Boys Don't Cry. I disagree. They just want, well, maybe they just want to cry. I mean, truly, though, what an earnest song. I also like it, babe. The harmony layers are amazing. This made me so happy. For whatever reason, they made it seem like they were going to end it. They kind of psyched you out, almost as if it like the words take a caesura, but the music does not. And you end up down here. There is no crying in Pet Sounds. Could end, doesn't end, and then comes back with this. That was amazing. I feel like he's commenting on perhaps being unfaithful to his missus, like, and I don't think it's cool for guys to be unfaithful to their sweeties, like, or for sweeties to be unfaithful to their guys. But at the same time, the sentiment behind that, or like, even if you just mess up in general, besides unfaithfulness, right? Like, you know, we all have things to overcome in ourselves, and every relationship is gonna have like things that you gotta like equal parts work on to, like, you know, make that make the sum of your parts worth more than what it is, right? Everybody's got to continuously work on themselves. You got to figure out how to coexist. So even in just those kind of interactions, right? Like being able to mess up and be confident that your partner still loves and believes in you is a big thing. And like the humility expressed in that acceptance of belief, and just like, how do you still think I'm valuable after me being the person I am? Whatever the case, there's a, you know, it's one of those things where I don't know if you've ever been in an experience in life where you realized like there's nothing you could do to make a person in your life love you any less. Like my mom, you know, no matter how many times I screwed up, she would always tell me there's nothing you could do that would ever make me love you any less. And not that I ever did anything terrible, right? But like, it's that same kind of feeling. And it's like almost to comment on that feeling, the experience of that feeling. I like that. I really like that. And that's not me. And that could also totally be Fish Trent. And that's kind of what made me think like, well, maybe I'm thinking too deeply into it from my own personal perspective and I'm projecting, when in reality, this could be about anything within a relational context of just like, I said I was going to put the toothpaste cap back on and I didn't, and I'm forgetful, and that really bummed her out because I told her I would do that. Or, you know, whatever the case may be. It's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think as people we're always hard on ourselves, and perhaps it wasn't necessarily specifically an unfaithful context as much as just like a human being a human and being humbled about the fact that for whatever reason somebody loves us in our humanity. It's a big deal to be loved in one's own humanity, you know?
I had to prove that I could make it alone now, but that's not me. I wanted to show how independent I'd grown now, but that's not me.
I'm obsessed with their harmonies and the way that drum comes in.
I could try to be big in the eyes of the world. What matters to me is what I could be to just one girl.
And they throw the meter there to fit this in. They extend the time signature to fit that part in, and that is just cool stuff to me, right? Or like they added measures.
Just one girl. What matters to me is what I could be to just one girl.
I love that. Well, and there's this slight dissonance to it.
I haven't been home in a long time. You needed my love, and I know that I left at the wrong time. My folks, when I wrote and told them what I was up to, said that's not me.
Oh, wow.
I went through all kinds of changes, took a look at myself and said that's not me.
There truly is an introspective nature to the lyricism throughout the last couple of songs, and if there is anything I get a hard on over when it comes to music, it's just introspective lyricism, dude. Wow.
I miss my pet and the places I'd known, and every night as I lay there alone I would dream.
And the dissonance dissonance created by the keys in the back of all of this.
I soon found out that my lonely life wasn't so pretty.
Wow.
I'm glad I went now and then, much more sure that we're ready. I once had a dream, so I packed up and split for the city.
I would love to see a documentary about the recording process of this album. Oh my gosh. This section where we just drop down to bass and vocals only, and you've got this like wonderfully ethereal, reverby, harmonious sound behind the vocals. Like, this is really magic. This is really, like, really, I'm super tickled listening to this so much. Going from these harmonies to this bass run. And then that. You know, I think that the Beach Boys is one of those artists or groups that I never really listened to because I felt like everybody heard their hits, so everybody knew who they were. But this isn't Kokomo. You know? Like, Good Vibrations, I think, is one of the coolest songs ever written, ever. But it's just one song, and it certainly doesn't, like, I'm sure, I know that one song doesn't sum up the catalog of a massive band with a massive catalog, right? But what I'm hearing, I mean, honestly, these first three songs, just, there's so much to pick apart in the sounds on them. There's no way I'd be able to catch everything in them. They're so layered. They're so layered. And they're so masterfully layered. Like, there are so many things happening at all times without things getting over, like, stepping over onto themselves. And then they just fade everything out. You have a bass line and a vocalist. And there's this ethereal soundscapey nature that happens going through it. And there is this earnesty in the lyricism, this intentionally lacking form of convention with radio, and like not doing verse chorus kinds of stuff. You know, again, it's certainly, you know, I've said the phrase sometimes, like, wow, this song or this sound walked so other sounds could run, but it's like they invented the sound and it was already running. You know, like, there's plenty of people that I'm sure learned from this, but there's nobody that's like confidently doing anything close to this. Wow. Yeah, I can bring you an ice cream bar. I'm going to run an ad, so that's convenient anyways. And give me a few guys. I'm honestly like super moved. This is so good. I'll be right back. All right, friends, I filled up my water. I brought my beloved Snickers ice cream bar to her bath, and we hopping back into this. And looks like the next song is "Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder." Man, they're hitting it. They're really killing it so far.
I can hear so much in your sighs.
Whoa.
And I can see so much in your eyes.
Their harmony work is
There
unbelievable.
are words we both could say. But don't talk, put your head on my shoulder.
Wow.
Come close, close your eyes and be still. Don't talk, take my hand and let me hear your heartbeat.
Wow.
Being here with you feels so right. We could live forever tonight. Let's not think about tomorrow. And don't talk, put your head on my shoulder.
What a beautiful sentiment, dude. That don't talk, put your head on my shoulder. Like, you can see so many heavy moments in your life played out in these lyrics. Like, there's this beautiful painting of a heartbreaking picture. And there's a hope in that picture, in this idea of just holding your loved one and letting them cry on your shoulder. And to articulate it this way, with these strings, with these harmonies, you know, it's almost, if like to an untrained ear, seems like a less is more concept. But when you realize all that's happening in the background, you realize that's not the case. There are still these layers, but they're just kind of more bombastically integrated and subtle throughout. There's these low guitar swells that kind of happen. That almost sound like some of like Pink Floyd-y sound, like guitar swells that would come, 10 years later, 8 years later. But you've just got this little ride, a couple of different keys. This is onion core music, if there ever was onion core music. The amount of layers in this is unbelievable. And again, that goes into when you're looking into the layers and you see the earnesty behind the lyricism, and again, you top it with what's happening in the music. It's just such, again, it's a beautiful painting of a heartbreaking picture with a glimmer of hope. And he talks about wanting to hear hers, and now he's wanting her to hear his. The strings in this, and they incorporate this dissonance with this like resolve, and it's incredible. I'm friggin' moved right now, dude. I'm actually friggin' moved. There's such genuine, and the way they sing it, it delivers the lyricism with such a conviction, like such an earnest, like you believe they feel that. You believe they lived a moment that made them write that, And I think that there is, again, such a beauty in just that moment of coming together when somebody can't talk. Getting to be there's a beauty in getting to be the person for somebody to put their head on. But then there's also beauty in being a person who has somebody to rest their head on. And I think that there's a beautiful comment on both sides of that within this 2-minute and 54-second song. And again, they do so much with such little time. I like this. This is really a masterpiece, man. Like, and not masterpiece in the context that I'm trying to like suck Brian Wilson's dick because he's just passed away and like I feel like I need to say nice things. I'm saying I'm sitting here literally listening to this, hearing these sounds, reading these words and thinking, wow, this is really the work of a genius. 4 songs in, that's how I feel.
Came along when he broke your heart. That's when you needed someone to help forget about him.
Okay.
I gave you love with a brand new start. That's what you needed the most to set your broken heart free.
Wow.
I know you cried and you felt blue. But when I could, I gave strength to you. I'm waiting for the day when you can love again.
The drums here.
I kissed your lips when your face looked sad. It made me think about him and that you still loved him so. Don't you know? Pretty soon I made you feel glad that you belong to me, and love began to show. He hurt you then, but that's all gone.
This is a song about being his honey's sloppy second and like dealing with it. Like he's singing about kissing his sweetie and knowing she's sad about another dude. But it's okay, because, like, you love me now. This is a sloppy second song. And he's like, but man, we have right now. You're only as good as your last kiss, you know what I'm saying?
That's all gone. I guess I'm saying you're the only one.
Some real sock hop drama, you know?
For the day when you can love again.
Who said earlier that the Beatles heard this song and went and did Sgt. Pepper? This particular part of that kind of is making me feel like that is true.
I'm saying you're the only one. I'm waiting for the day when you can love again.
Dude. Are you the person that's in one of these scenarios right now? Look at me. I'm asking you, are you the person right now that's liking somebody that likes somebody else? Because I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Be kinder to yourself than that. Do not do that to yourself. Please. Okay. Thank you.
You didn't think that I could sit around and let him work. You didn't think that I could sit around and watch him take you. You didn't think.
No. See, there's the way math works, right? There was bound to be at least 2 people watching this video live or on YouTube combined that were sitting here in that circumstance. So if you felt like, hey, holy crap, that one hit close to home, Rooski, friggin' think about it, dude. Treat yourself better. Because I care. We all do. None of us need that, especially you. Here we go. Sorry, getting back to it.
Sit around and watch him go. You didn't think that I could sit back and watch you go.
Got you, Cam. Here's the thing, friends. If you are in a position where you are competing for love in a love triangle situation, my advice is to consider yourself the loser now and to find somebody who actually recognizes you're worth a damn. Again, nobody has time for that, and it just seems like that's a great way to start a relationship with insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Just seems that way. Don't entertain the thing, because I gotta tell you, the right one ain't gonna entertain both sides. Probably they're just gonna make sure you know that you feel like you are it. Because and I gotta tell you, I really didn't think that was ever like a thing, but that's a real thing. Do not put yourself into a love triangle scenario. It doesn't work ever. You're just gonna end up being like, what if I end up in another triangle? There's always that possibility, you know? Like, don't try to walk through a 2-person door with 3 people, you know? Give yourself that much credit. If you're not planning on going into a polyglot, stay the frig away from a competition, okay? And if you're gonna go into a polyglot, and if you go, don't go into that with the mindset of a competition either, because that's not going to be good for any of however many of you. I'm going to start this over to be respectful to Brian Wilson. Polycule. Thank you. What a terrible time to say the wrong words. It kind of gives me a little bit of a Phantom Island vibe, like a little bit, dude. Bro, I loved that. You're absolutely right. Phantom Island does not exist without this record. Listen to this xylophone. Is that what that is? I hearing a wood block? I want to hear that. It psychs you up, makes you think it's going to transition into a big explosion, and it doesn't, and it's better because of that. That was so nice. And just this acoustic guitar, the drums have me really just. Honestly, what a nice little palate cleanser after those. You go from such you really ride an emotional roller coaster throughout this thing, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of honesty, there's a lot of real life feelings, both good and bad, of the human experience, and then you kind of get this nice little palate cleanser of an instrumental which is ethereal and dreamy and bombastic and goodness. That was just wonderful. Sloop John B. This feels like I've heard the song's title. I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. Not off the top of my head. I could listen to this instrumental on a loop forever. Will you guys let me know where does side A and side B separate? Will you guys let me know that? Also, do let me know, do you like side A or B better? Sloop John B. Again, one I'm certainly familiar with by title. Sloop John B and side A. Okay.
We come on the Sloop John B.
Okay, I've heard it.
My grandfather and me around Nassau town.
Whoa, that bass walk. Am I hearing like footsteps or claps? What's there in the background? There's a lot. Again, the layers on this thing. I'm gonna let it play through, because if I try to pick apart the layers throughout, maybe I'll try to do a rapid fire after I let it play some. I'm gonna go back a little bit. But what is the Sloop John B? Ding 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 ding. What's that noise?
My grandfather and me around Nassau town we did roam, drinking all night.
It's a ship.
Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home.
Is this song about a bar fight on a boat?
So hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore, let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home.
This is the cheerfully melancholic song. This is not at all what I thought. For whatever reason, when you hear it in its commercial context, it just again loses its meaning because it's used in friggin' like a Walmart commercial or something. But when you read the lyrics, it's like the sailor story, and it's again cheerfully melancholic. You've kind of got these uplifting things, and it sounds much happier than what it actually is. Again, way better than any commercial context it's ever been used in on its own, for sure.
I wanna go home, yeah, yeah. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. The first mate, he got drunk, broke in
Sheriff John Stone, the constable.
Well, I feel so broke up. I wanna go home. So hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. See how the mainsail, see how the mainsail. Call for the captain ashore. Let me go home, let me go home. I wanna go home, let me go home. Let me go home. Hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. Feel so broke up. I wanna go home, let me go.
The harmonies there. Headphone listeners, buckle up for a treat. We're all going to really dig in on this. I'm actually going to give it a little bit more sauce in the sound for this moment, okay? I want us to really dig into those harmonies. Listen to all of the different things they did. They go up and down. It's like, are there four guys singing and creating a fifth voice? Is that what it is I'm hearing when they do that? Listen. Listen, five singers.
Let me go home. Hoist up the John B. Feel so broke up. I wanna go home. Let me go.
That moment, it's just an unreal piece of music. 6 singers. And they're all like, bro, 6 singers, bro. I mean, truly, that's got to be some of the most dynamic vocal harmony, some of the most vocal harmonies in rock music, point blank period, ever recorded. And this was done in 1966. Unreal.
Poor cook, he caught the fit and threw away all my grit. And then he took and he ate up all of my corn. Let me go home.
F's for the corn, dude.
Why don't they let me go home? This is the worst trip I've ever been on.
So, like, when you see that, it's like in movies, like, where people end up in the wrong flight of a vacation or something. This song is just infinitely more than any context it's ever been used for in score.
Threw away all my grit.
F's for the grits.
Then he took and he ate up all of my corn. Let me go home.
And the doubling in the drums
Why
here.
don't they let me go home? This is the worst trip I've ever
Mace.
been on. Hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. See how the mainsail, see
Do,
how
do, 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 do.
all aboard the captain ashore. Let me go, let me go.
I love grits so much, dude. Sloop John B deserved it. Again, that is such a song that just does not get its credit. It's an incredible song. I didn't realize how truly cheerfully melancholic it was. Again, it's so sad to me that so many geniuses get lost to becoming a Target commercial. And like when you start digging into the true greats, and you start really, really, really digging back. I got to tell you, I had a big realization like this when I listened to Stevie Wonder's song Sir Duke. I find more and more the further back in music I go, the more and more this happens. And especially now, I mean, this has been a perfect listen. A lot of times, if you've watched my reactions, the instrumental parts, I don't hit the like button because I just couldn't imagine myself coming back to them. But this breaks that. And this is, I guess, the second most popular song on the album. So I'm kind of surprised it wasn't Sloop John B. So God only knows. I'm not sure if I know this one. But here we go. Listen to the horn. Their use of
I may
bells.
not always love you, but long as there are stars above you,
Wow.
you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you.
This has been one of the most honestly written albums I've ever seen. Again, the prose within the lyricism is just so good, and it really does just convey a blatant earnesty and honesty. He's not trying too hard to rhyme. He's actually, like, he rhymes me with me constantly, right? He's not reinvented the wheel. He didn't, like, you know, it's not like, but it's how he conveys himself that makes him particular, makes them particularly special. They speak in a way every single human being has thought before, and they do so in kind of common man terminology, and they do it with this earnesty. It's like the way they capture the feeling in the music. The sound articulates perfectly what the words are saying as they do that. I think I feel like I must have heard this song. It's certainly not hitting me in any kind of recognizable. Oh yeah, I know this one context right now.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
And you hear the woodblock things in the back.
If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me.
The harmonies, the way they change meter.
Nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you.
Those woodblocks are orange juice cups. Whoa. Hang on, that transitionary piece after this and into that. What the frig was that?
So what good would
that was such a. That was not a standard scale walk for this song, but it. It totally changes time signatures for a moment and kind of walks us back in once it syncopates again. Their harmonies on onomatopoeia also.
I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do
This
me?
is an incredible song.
Knows what I'd be without you. And God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. 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 God only knows what I'd be without.
I really just wanted to let it play out there, man. I mean, honestly, I hang on. I wanted to let it kind of play out there because it just felt good to hear. And I guess being in a place in life where this feels so relatable, like having a wonderful new wife in my life, and just getting to kind of look at my life from a happy perspective and angle, and know where it was know where it was I pulled myself out of, and then to know that I have a person to share like this better version of myself with is really, really cool. And the earnesty behind it. I know I've said that word a lot, earnest, right? But I don't know that I can come up with a better word to. I mean, I could go to a thesaurus if you would like to try to find as many words that mean earnest, but there's just a purity to this sound and meaning, and it's captivating, and it's beautiful, and it embodies good and bad in the human experience. Like it somehow captures magically the desire and longing of a love, but also the acceptance of that love that you long for. And all with such genius instrumentation. Like that really sends the message home with the wax sealed stamp, this is really, really incredible, dude. The keys, all of these keyboard runs, and then what, the baritone sax?
I know so many people who think they can do it alone.
Bass harmonica.
Isolate their heads and stay in their safety zone. Now what can you tell them? And what can you say that would make them defensive?
It feels like I'm hearing a little bit of do 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 do. You know that it would be untrue. Light my fire. In the key runs in the background here.
Now what can you tell them?
It'll be coming up.
And what can you say that would make them defensive? I know there's an answer. I know now, but I had to find it by myself.
And they throw a meter and they still make it work, and it's incredible.
Inside they're so uptight. They trip through the day and waste all their thoughts at night. Now how can I come up and tell them the way that they live could be better? I know there's an answer. I know now, but I had to find it by myself.
This is madness.
Now how can I come up and tell them the way?
Wowzer. I don't know. You want to run that transition back, guys? I want to run that transition. Can we run it? Yeah, we can. We're going to run it back. This is just... almost sounds like I'm hearing a kazoo somewhere in there too. But I think it's just the bass harmonica.
Now how can I come up and tell them the way that they live could be better? I know there's an answer. I know now, but I had to find it by myself.
And the jazz break at the end of this. I before we let it finish out, I just, it's so cool to me that, again, in this, he talks about the idea that, like, other people can do it alone, but he's, like, not that kind of person, and that he knows that there's an answer, and he also recognizes that he's got to find that answer within himself, and then just kind of, like, reiterates that to himself over and over. Like, I gotta figure this out. Like, I gotta figure this out. And to see that in writing is so nice. And to have this kind of, these jazz transitionary pieces and the way it's closing, wow. Just, wow. I know now, but I have to find it by myself. It's like you finally come to that point of realization where you're like, wow, I really am, at the end of the day, all I actually have. I can choose to trust people, but they can choose to burn me. And should they do so, at the end of the day, I really am all I really have. And that sentiment, mixed with the healthy mindset of recognizing that you are loved, have support, whatever, is a big thing. But at the end of the day, we are the only ones that can choose to make our scenarios better for ourselves, right? Like, we have to be the instigators of that. And initiators of that is the better word for me to put it. But we are all alone in a sense. It's only as depressing as you make it, because you can also see that as we are all also together in a sense. And again, I feel like we can approach it from glass half full or glass half empty. You can look at so many negative things in the world or so many positive things in the world. And it's something that I try very hard to be the, this is going to sound really douchey of me, but I try really hard to be the change I'd like to see in the world, because I recognize there are a ton of really god-awful things out there, you know? People who are literally, like, struggling to stay alive. People whose, like, rights are being violated, you know? Animals who are being, like, treated poorly. Like, there are infinite number of problems. And there is only one Walter, and there's only so much time in the day. And I can't fix all of those problems. But what I can do is be the best version of myself I can be, continue to try to become a better version of myself, and try as best I can to affect the world in the way that I can. I have been fortunate enough to have been given some platform, and with that platform, I choose to share music and positivity. And not everybody's going to vibe with that. That's cool. Plenty of people do. And I feel like the positivity speaks a lot louder than the negativity. And for a corner of the internet, that's a very special thing. And that's all thanks to you guys and everybody deciding, like, yeah, let's kind of ride that vibe instead of being douchey. You know, in a world where it's really, really, really terrible, my answer was, I need to be the best version of me for me. And in doing so, if I want to change the world and be the change I want to see in the world, be positive, share goodness, listen to music. You know, the thing I'm best at is music. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry about that. I know it's a tangent. I'm going to bring it back so I can actually get through to the, hear that ending jazzy kind of breakdown. really, 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 the amount of layers in there, it's like, when they toured, was it just them, or did they tour with like a whole bunch of bands? How did that work? Always consider the birds. That's what we do around here.
It starts with just a little glance.
Here Today. Hang on, I wanted to make sure I gave that a like. I did. Dang, there's only like 4 songs left. Counting this one, I'm kind of sad.
Now, right away you're thinking about romance now.
Enjoy more radio. Welcome to the Brewskis.
Take it slower, but you just can't wait to get to know her. A brand new love affair is such a beautiful thing. But if you're not careful, think about the pain it can bring.
Whoa.
It makes you feel so bad, it makes your heart feel sad, it makes your days go wrong, it makes your nights so long. You've got to keep in mind love is here today and it's gone. Tomorrow it's here and gone so fast. Right now you think that she's perfection. This time is really an exception. Well, you know I hate to be a downer, but I'm the guy she left before you found her. Well, I'm not saying you won't have a good luck with her.
It's like we're on the other side of the coin now with this particular one, right? Like like we were singing earlier about being the sloppy seconds guy, and now we're singing about being the guy who is on the other side of the triangle. Whoa!
Before you found her. Well, I'm not saying you won't have a good luck with her, but I keep on remembering things like they were. She made me feel so bad, she made my heart feel sad, she made my days go wrong and made my nights so long. You got to keep in mind love is here.
Again, the little moments that happen in the details of the sound is so cool in this album.
Got to keep in mind love is here today and it's gone. Tomorrow is here and gone so
No. The way these end, dude.
keep in mind love is here.
It almost feels like this part right here, it kind of spawned the idea that would become Good Vibrations. Or hang on, Good Vibrations happened before this or after? Let me just do a double check here. I think Good Vibrations happened on Smiley Smile, right? Yeah, it did. So in this context, it kind of feels like this sound walked a little bit so that Good Vibrations in sound could happen. Or at least maybe they were using the same instrumentation. I don't know. What do you guys think? Right there. It was recorded during Pet Sounds. Okay. Because that bass line too, right? Like with I love the colorful clothes you wear. You've got that doo-doon doon doo-doon doon doo-doon doon doo-doon, like with that bass line, and you've got those that you know that organ sound, and it's like this is a just kind of a different thing, but similar.
Love is here today and it's gone. Tomorrow
again, I cannot help but hear like this was kind of an adjacent song to the song Good Vibration, you know? And with that, with the lyrics that come in, it really, at bare minimum, this song is a cousin to that song. Was intended to be a non-album single, but got tracked onto Smiley Smile. Okay. Huh. Thanks for that. And by the way, welcome to the Rooskies Enjoy More Radio. Rooskies, make our new friends feel at home. That song was so good. I actually apparently have to run an ad. So give me a few because Twitch is making me do their due. Be right back. Okay, guys, we are back. Let's finish the last 3 songs on this album proper up. And this one is I Just Wasn't Made for These Times. Here we go.
I keep looking for a place to fit in where I can speak my mind. And I've been trying hard to find the people that I won't leave behind.
Oh, wow.
They say I got brains, but they ain't doing me no good. I wish they could.
Man. That is, again, just immediately hitting me in the relatability. Like, it's kind of like, it's like reading my mail. You know what I mean? Maybe I was reading Brian's. I don't know. That's such a relatable feeling, right? Like, they say I got brains, but they ain't doing me no good. Like, man, have I been there before.
Won't leave behind. They say I got brains, but they ain't doing me no good. I wish they could. Each time things start to happen again, I think I got something good going for myself, but what goes?
Sometimes I feel very sad. Ain't found the right thing I can put my heart and soul into. If this isn't just one of the most honest songs ever written. W's for the Lady Rooski. She's the best. She's actually the best. W's for the Lady Rooski. But again, I can totally relate to that. Like, anybody that's followed my channel for any period of time can tell you that, like, I've had my ups and my downs, right? Like, and he just says it like it is. Sometimes I feel very sad. And I have such a respect for lyricists that just say it as it was, you know? And then even further than that, like, ain't found the right thing I can put my heart and soul into. In my context, again, I can see this as relatable because I've, and I'm coming from a place where I have now found the thing that I can put my heart and soul into, right? Like, I found something I was passionate about, and that inspired me to lean into other things that made me, that I was interested in, and it kind of started exploring and branching out. And I think it was in finding, passions that things kind of started changing for me. But it was like it took some looking, like it took some trial and error, like you got to try things and realize you really suck at them or don't really actually have an interest in doing them a few times before you end up with the thing. But yeah, I can understand that. Just that sometimes I feel very sad. I haven't found the right thing to put my heart and soul into. The relatability in just the matter-of-fact way he says things is unparalleled.
I guess I just wasn't made for these times. Every time I get the inspiration
No, I'm an underwriter for a bank that works from home.
to go change things around. No one wants to help me look for places where new things might be found. Where can I turn when my fair weather friends come by?
Dude!
What's it all about? Each time things start to happen again, I think I got something good going for myself, but what goes wrong? Sometimes I feel very sad. Sometimes I feel very sad. Sometimes I feel very sad. I guess I just wasn't made for these times.
This! Am I hearing the theremin there? I guess I just wasn't made for these times.
Guess I just wasn't made for these times. Guess I just
In a round.
wasn't made for these times. I guess I just wasn't made for these times. Guess I just wasn't made for these times.
This is a timeless song, too. It's more specifically, every single song on this album has been timeless. Even the instrumental. Every single song on this album has both lyrically and musically been timeless. I'm saying it before it's over. We're coming up on the title track next. And then the final song, Caroline, No. This is genuinely an album that has me upset that it's ending. It's actually got me upset that it's ending. This has been such a wonderful album. It's immediately an S tier album before I ever get to it. To call this surf rock is almost insulting. But it is. But it's like significantly more than that. Or maybe surf rock is significantly more than what people give it credit for. Maybe surf rock in and of itself is this beautiful introspective thing that I just did not know. But again, maybe it's not genre specific. Maybe that what it is that we're hearing, more specifically, is genius music. Not to be pigeonholed by genre, right? Like what we are hearing incorporates so many different genres. It's almost insulting to label it. What we are hearing is music at its finest. There is I don't quite know how to reach for it, but I feel like to call it pop music is insulting as well. Again, I like it really does just feel like this is people music. you know? This is people music. Anyways. I don't mean in the Rick and Morty context either. I mean, this is made for humanity. Human music. This is, yeah. Anyways, Pet Sounds. Let's get to the title track, see what this is about. Absolutely unbelievable album. Are there lyrics or not? Instrumental. I love you guys. Thank you. I like the surf, like the reverb sound on this guitar in the back. And it's like, do they have the tremolo on like an old Fender amp turned up like really, really, really fast, as well as the spring reverb to kind of give it this like ping kind of sound on the lead guitar? And are we playing like a Stratocaster, a Jazzmaster or something? Accomplishing that tone in 1966. All of these layers. So these aren't, I mean, I guess technically P90s are single coils, I know, but like if he's playing a Jaguar, is he playing a Jaguar with the single coils in it, and the not P90 specific ones? The reason I was asking was because I thought that this was a P90 sound, but it's hard to tell when you have that much modulation kind of sound on it. So like when you have, and I'm talking about the lead guitar here specifically with that pow sound. The one I said had a lot of spring reverb, and like I thought, correct me if I am wrong, that the tremolo setting on an amplifier was turned up really, really, really fast. But yeah, I feel like what. Yeah, I could see that. I just again wasn't quite sure on the Jazzmaster versus Jaguar scenario, especially in this time period. So, but again, the pickups in this time period is kind of what you listen for more than anything. And the horns. I feel like Van Morrison. And just the horns vibe. I feel like you guys are going to take a dump all over me for saying Van Morrison, so do forgive me. I don't know why, because I'm not saying it in comparison. I'm just saying the horns moment reminded me of a Van Morrison song. This is so good. No, nothing's wrong with Van. I love Van Morrison and the songs I know. I'm just saying, people get mad when you mention other artists in referencing old classics, right? That's not what I'm here to do. This is a genius album in and of itself. And if anything, I was bringing up Van Morrison to say, I wonder if he took inspiration from the Beach Boys in his own right, but I also don't know that happened either. So I wasn't even going to say it until I started explaining. This is the closing track. Caroline, no.
Where did your long hair?
For those of you that have discovered this album with me and are listening for the first time, what are your thoughts? I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. I'm going to restart the song and we're going to close her down honorably.
Where did your long hair go? Where is the girl I used to know? How could you lose that happy glow? Oh, Caroline, no. Who took that look away? I remember how you used to say you'd never change, but that's not true. Oh, Caroline, you break my heart. I
Dude.
wanna go and cry. It's so sad to watch a sweet thing die. Oh, Caroline, could I ever find in you again things that made me love you so much then? Could we ever bring them back once they have gone? Oh, Caroline, no.
I'm stopping it here before we let it play out, and then I'll comment, and I'll just let it play through the end, and give you the commentary after, so we can end the album honorably. But I have really loved that so many of the songs did not, limit themselves to the standard structure of verse, chorus, whatever. I've loved just his willingness to be a real person dealing with real feelings, both good and bad, and his ability to weave those into an album and really encapsulate the human experience and kind of the rush of, what it is to be, I would guess kind of a dude coming out into the later half of your 20s or early 30s and like kind of seeing the separation happening in life, but also kind of having a friend group that you're becoming more and more detached from, experiencing romance, experiencing heartbreak, kind of living life and navigating life with people around. And it seems like his comments on friendships, on him, his own recognition, recognition of what he needed to do to make his scenario better. His comment on both romantic love and romantic heartbreak, as well as just his friendships, like the people around him. This album, Pet Sounds, really encapsulates so many parts of the human experience on an emotional level with such poignant accuracy, and it didn't have to be verbose in doing so. It just again called on it called the spade a spade in an emotional level with some of the most genius sound backing I've ever heard. And to comment on watching A Sweet Thing Die being the love between him and Caroline, and then kind of letting the music say the rest towards the end. I just think that's so appropriate. Like the last minute or so seems to be an instrumental, and that for the way that this album has been, and letting the music say so much after the words did. This has been an absolutely incredible album, dude. So let's finish her out.
Once they had
drum run there. Is this a harpsichord I'm hearing? Oh, we're at a train station now? It's the pet. Pet and train sounds. Wow, man. I'm actually kind of interested to listen to it in stereo now to see how much it changes. That was a perfect 13 for 13, guys. That was unbelievable. That was so good. Happy you are home, Boar. Thank you for them tiggle bitties. Guys, I think I'm gonna be doing a. Where do I go next? The Beach Boys are absolutely happening again. This is so good. This was so good. This was so meaningful. This was an amazing time. I smiled. I felt understood. I reminisced. I was introspective. Unbelievable. Smile sessions. Okay. It seems like a lot of people are kind of in the same ballpark there. All right, guys, I'll work with the mod team behind the scenes. But guys, I can't speak highly enough for this album. I know I was verbose throughout, but I had a lot to say. It moved me. Anyways, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.